Okay, so now we're officially on. Good morning, everybody. I want to first, it's been a while since we've done this. We didn't do this last month with all the Jewish holidays. So now that they're all done, and hopefully, I guess the kids are back in school for most of us, hopefully, we can try to get back to business here. So I'm a little rusty here on the on doing this. Like I said, it's been 2 months, but I guess what we'll do is we'll first we'll go through all the people, especially the new ones that we have here. Everybody can introduce himself. We also will have that spreadsheet where everybody can put their information on, which a shared Google document where everybody can see everybody else, that they see everybody else's information, and that way they can, you know, if they, even though you only met somebody for a short amount of time, you can still get all that information. Yitzi, if you're there, if you can share that in the chat, share the shared Google document in the, oh, he's actually joining right now. Hold on, I'm just gonna let him in. Yitzi, if you can hear me, if you can share the the shared Google document with everybody in the chat, that would be super.
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Okay, so everybody look out for the chat for that Google Doc.
Coming right
It's
up.
What's that?
Coming right up.
Okay, and then that's where you can you know, see who else is participating and get all the information. We have a nice program today. We have a Brett, who just joined us, Brett Trembly, about utilizing virtual admins, and this should be very an interesting program. So thank you for coming on board, Brett. And also, before we start the official program, we do have the we have this time a we're gonna do the breakout rooms instead of doing the traditional breakout rooms here on Zoom. What we'd like to do is I sent an email out and I sent a WhatsApp message out to the Purple World, where we're gonna, it's like a virtual networking environment where you can talk to people. Kind of, you have an avatar and you can walk around. It's really cool for anyone who has not seen it yet. It's definitely worthwhile. So I would ask everybody to install that, because that's where we'll do the actual networking part after this, after the main program, where we could you know, interact with people. So Yitzi, also if you mind putting that link in for the, you have the link for the Purple World?
Yeah, we'll find it.
So put it in. You have to install. It's a software. It's software you have to install on your computer. So you have to download it and run it. So if you do it now and get it set up while we're talking, you could you know, you can be ready for it when we're done with the program. So
also, one more thing, Heshy.
Yeah.
We should post a link for the WhatsApp group for people to sign up who are not in there yet.
Okay. Do you mind doing that as well?
Yeah.
Okay. We have a lot more people on the email list than on the WhatsApp chat. We've sent messages both through the email and through the WhatsApp chat. So if you want to be added to the WhatsApp chat,
virtual live. Oops.
Just add it directly there. Go to that link, and which we're going to provide, and sign yourself up. Okay. So without further ado, we're going to start going through everybody in the list here. Hold on, let me see who's talking, to mute them. Unless you're talking, please mute yourself, or that way we don't have to see.
I tried downloading the Purple software, and it came out, the malware bytes showed up that it's not safe. So I don't know.
So you just have to override it. Because it's definitely been approved and it works. Just whatever, if you're using any antivirus and it flags it, just override the settings for that.
Make sure you're using .live, not .com.
Okay.
What's .live? What do you have .live?
It's in the chat. I just pasted it into the chat. purplevirtual.live/install.
No, I did what Heshy sent yesterday. Okay. Again.
Yeah, try that, and just block, if your thing blocks it, then just you know, override it from your settings. Okay, so I'm going to be going through the list. The problem is, like I said, I don't have the list in Zoom here. I'll try to give some of the new people a chance to start first. So the way it works is, for all the new people here, first of all, welcome, and everybody can just say what you do, say your company. Try to do it in we don't have that much time. Always is, and we have a big program here, and we want to get everybody back to work on time. So if everybody can just, for I would say for about 10, 15 seconds, what you do, what your company name, your company name, what you do very quickly and what you're looking for. Try to do that in 15 seconds or less. Without further ado, we're going to start with our newest participant here, Ellie Cohen. Ellie, you're on. Just go for it.
We do telecom services, and we help people avoid hassle and save money on the communications, especially for business and especially for people who have between 10 and 50 employees.
Say the name of your company.
Elcom Communications.
All right. He's in the WhatsApp. In the shared Google document there. Okay. Next, who's new here? Shia, you've been here before, but you haven't been here in a while, so we'll get Shia Miski. Go for it.
Oh, hi. Wow, you really know who's here. I didn't know you keep tabs.
I keep attendance.
Okay. So, hi, my name is Shia Miski. I'm a business coach, and I do performance efficiency training. And it's being productive at work without being stressed out, which ends up giving you more time.
Thank you, Shia. Elliot Grossbart, have you been here before?
No, and I have to
Okay.
get the link for the Zoom from Neil Greenbaum, so we have something to talk about. Hi, everybody. My name is Elliot Grossbart. I'm zooming in from Miami, Florida. I'm the Vice President of Growth for a company that way called ElevateU.ai. We're an artificially intelligence textbook publisher, e-learning platform, and sandbox for higher education. And Amir Tashem, Chanoich Lenaro Pidarko will be a real thing using technology in Judaic studies.
All right. So this is a big time. This is interesting times for you for what you're doing right now. I mean, this is.
Yeah, actually, the company was founded in 2019 before I joined, before COVID, but we've had to reprioritize a lot of things out of necessity because of the needs.
All right. Thank you. Alex, M&T Bank, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we hear you fine.
Fantastic. My name is Alex Cherkes. I am a Vice President and Branch Manager at M&T Bank here in Wesley Hills. And M&T is a fantastic bank for any business owner, but I specialize in helping business owners find the financing that they need short-term and long-term. I've been here a year in this market for M&T, and Baruch Hashem, I've made a lot of customers go a little further than they could with their businesses.
Okay, thank you for joining. Hannah Miller, welcome. Hannah, many of us have seen her on networking events, but it's great to have you here on our own networking event.
Thank you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm Hannah Miller. I am the owner and CFO of Smart Solutions Bookkeeping, and we are a bookkeeping and concierge CFO firm that specializes in helping business owners really understand their financials so that they can take it to the next level.
Thank you, Hannah. Les, I think you're new here, right?
Yes, I am. Thank
Okay.
you. Actually, good morning, everybody. My name is Les Rosenberg. You can call me Menachem if you wish. The name of my company is Openers for Leads, and we do lead generation, which is to say if you have a target market that you want to sell your product or service into, we create a list of prospects for you, or we contact those prospects to gather information or to set appointments for your salespeople. I'm based in Toronto, but I do this virtually, and I normally do this for software companies, but I can do it for anyone. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. All right, so that's one of the advantages now with doing this online on COVID is that we have an international audience. Okay, let's see. Anyone else new here that's not been here before? All right, I think if you're new and you haven't been here before, go shout out right now. Otherwise, we'll go through our regulars. Okay, Jason Leff, you're on.
Hi, good morning, Heshy. Thanks for inviting me yet again. I'm based in Passaic, New Jersey, H Harmonious, personalized payroll solutions for small to mid-sized businesses. This is the time of year where companies decide to look at their payroll systems to see, are they really meeting up to speed what they should be doing? Are your timekeeping systems talking with your payroll systems, that you don't have to use an Excel spreadsheet as a medium in the interim. We save our clients time, we save our clients money in many different facets by making sure everything's really connected to each other, and wasted time is wasted money. So Harmonious, personalized payroll solutions. Thanks again.
Thank you. Okay, Steve Schreiber.
Yes, good morning. Steve Schreiber from Aquarius Partners, LLC. We are a customer account retention and customer account retrieval company. We help medium-sized service businesses keep growing their account base and retrieve customer accounts that they highly value. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Who's next? Srilly Nyman.
Good morning, Srilly Nyman.
Srilly, we just lost you. Srilly, we lost your audio.
You don't hear me?
You're very, very low.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No, I mean, very, very hardly audible.
Okay, then come back later.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Okay, Moshe Amzel.
Nope.
Moshe, you're on. Oh.
Heshy, can you give 3 at a time so we're all prepared, so we're not like very anxious Jews here, please? Thanks.
Sorry,
Okay.
with 3 screens, my mouse wasn't crossing from one to the other. Good morning, everybody. My name is Moshe Amsel. I work with law firm owners in the Profit with Law brand to create profitable law firms, grow their firms. Best way that you can help me is if you know a lawyer, just turn them on to the Profit with Law podcast. I'll take it from there.
Okay, thank you. I'll do 3. We'll try Rafi's approach. Jonathan Schloss, John Aramini, and Alan Zoldan. You're muted, Jonathan?
No, I can talk. I was.
Good morning. Sorry, I got it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
Hi, good morning. Jonathan Schloss here. An attorney with the law firm Schloss & Schloss, small firm based in Rockland County. I handle commercial litigation, business disputes, real estate disputes, and we have a subspecialty in our firm handling liquor licensing in New York. It's buying, selling restaurants, bars, bodegas, etc. Primarily in Rockland County, but that we can do all over the state.
Thank you. John.
Hi, John Aramini Management, been in business since 2005. We're a management consulting company. One of the things we do is when all you experts go in and do all your websites and do all this great stuff, and the companies still say, you know what, we're still not generating business. We still have some dysfunction among our management team. We just don't execute well. I get below the surface and look at the dynamics of what's going on, because you might have a great website, but things just aren't clicking internally, and you're having problems growing your audience and growing and losing customers. And the core of my business is what's your story. You need to understand really who you are to really portray yourself in the marketplace. John Aramini Management. Thank you. Thank you, Ash.
Alan.
Hi, am I coming through?
You're coming through great.
Okay, good. My name is Alan Zoldan. My business is A to Z Micro Marketing. I'm a copywriter, which means I write words, content. Basically, I help craft, shape your marketing message so that your marketing is more effective. This is my first Zoom meeting. I was a regular when you had coffee.
Coffee and breakfast.
Really hope to get there again with all of you. But for higher impact copy, hire me.
Right. Well, as you mentioned that, I really do hope to get back to, I guess, some level of in-person meetings when it's safe, and maybe we can do with masks and maybe outdoors. We're going to try to figure something out for the next month or two for those who are interested in doing something in person safely. But I think everybody's anxious for that as well. Okay, so the next 3 we have Tzvi Spitz, Jeff Neiman, and Penny Morazau. Sorry.
Hey, good morning. I'm Tzvi Spitz. My company is Veritech. And let me mute the phone. I'm a managed IT services company. We basically keep your technology working efficiently so that you can focus on your business and let everything else just work. That's all I got.
Thank you, Tzvi.
Good morning, Jeff Neiman. You can call me Menachem or call me Chesky. First off, I'm a long-term client of Heshy, and he didn't even call me first, which is fine. Good to see a lot of the faces over here. Elliot Mazel Tov next week. Elliot's making a wedding, so I'm just throwing that shout out, his first one from Miami. What I do, I have two primary businesses. Number one is a company called Nadler Modular. We build commercial modular buildings, schools, construction trailers, government buildings, etc. And number two, another company that I got involved with about 2+ years ago is a company called Hergo, Hergo. We build technical furniture. Technical furniture means furniture that you'll put into a server room, you'll put into a command center, not the front office furniture, but we're starting to get into that as well. Thanks so much.
Heshy.
Yeah.
It's Elliot here. I just want to say one thing. Chesky really is undertelling his story. He and I are on each other's board of advisors and personal mentors. I trust him like a brother. He's been my client. He's been my friend and confidant. And the first thing I saw when I came on here, I said, okay, I'm going to be here from now on because Chesky is on the call.
Wow, very nice. Chesky, you hear that? Chesky
Wow,
is a client of
thanks.
mine. By the way, Chesky is a client of mine since I think 2003. Okay. Okay, Penny, you're on.
Chesky, it's a very nice honor to go after you. We've haven't spoken to you in a while, but it's a nice work. It's nice to having worked with you in the past. My name is Penny Morozov. I am a licensed public adjuster, which means I represent the property owner when it comes to insurance claims. I actually currently work with a multitude of other public adjustment firms. I come in, I inspect, and I assign a public adjuster based on the loss, based on the damages. I work with a variety of different teams depending on the loss on hand. In other words, if there's any property damage, whether it's causation from fire, water, or anything else, wind, I come in, do that initial inspection, and direct accordingly so that the client can get the most out of from the insurance so that they can actually recover and get back on their own 2 feet.
All right. Thank you, Penny. Okay, our next three. We have Mark Spitz, Rafi Salem, and Mickey Cohn.
Okay, thanks, Heshy. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Mark Spitz, Mordechai Spitz, Mati Spitz, and I work for a company called GRM. We are a leading document management company, and essentially what we do is we help companies get immediate access to all of their information, both physical and digital, with full automation, reporting, and analytics. And I can say that due to COVID, we actually have some COVID-related solutions, such as our digital mailroom service, where we provide the physical mail to all of our customers electronically. And we also have a COVID app that ensures that any customers or students or vendors, prior to them coming to your site, that they are vetted according to the CDC guidelines.
Thank you, Mark. Rafi.
Okay, I think I have to give all my names. So Rafi, Raful, Rafael, Salem is one last name in America, and Shalom in Israel. I've been doing websites and digital marketing with Heshy Friedman. I think I beat you for it by a few years because you have hair and I don't, since 1997. And the latest and greatest buzzword in the digital marketing industry is called reputation management. So I speak about, what happens when you Google yourself. Are you seeing the website that you like? Are you seeing any negativity? And whether you like it or not, we should have a conversation just to make sure that you're getting enough sales leads from your Googling yourself. So Rafi Salem, Salem Global Internet, don't be bamboozled by Google.
Thank you, Rafi. By the way, I did start websites in 1997. I only founded the company in 2002. So we're both out there in terms of.
So basically, I just lost my hair and you didn't.
All right. I don't think you had hair back in 2002 either.
Okay, let's not get personal.
Okay, Mickey, go ahead.
Hey guys, Mickey Cohn here. It's been a while. Some exciting news. I did get a new job. I had a job offer like 16 months ago. For whatever reason, the boss decided not to hire, and we became friends. We had a follow-up. So my industry is telecom communications. I'm now a telecom consultant looking to help small or large businesses on a free analysis to free consultation. And as far as my different names, I'm Mickey Cone, Mickey or Cone, or just give me your phone bill. Those three are my names. Nice seeing you guys.
Thank you, Mickey. Great to see you again. Great to have you back. All right. Then our next three are David Jassy. Okay. Then we have Frady Rappaport and Divi Kogel.
Hi, David Jassy, DMJ Studios in New York. We've been around since 1992. I got my start at CNN, MTV, CBS, Current Affair. Now we do videos for anything from law firms to nonprofit organizations. When it comes to nonprofit organizations, we've pivoted from not only doing the honoree videos and the promotional videos for the websites, but we're also doing virtual events. So we have a lot of experience in video. We've worked from everybody from the Chafetz Chaim Heritage Foundation and Agudas Yisrael to the National Kidney Foundation and WABC.
Thank you, David. All right, Frady.
Good morning. My name is Frady Rappaport. We founded the company called Upscale Equities, Inc. in 2004. It's a residential mortgage company. I'll read our slogan on the back of our card. It says, "Our service is designed to simplify your mortgage process." We are licensed in the states of New York and New Jersey, hopefully expanding to Florida, in which I'll definitely reach out to Elliot and the other characters that he's related to around here. I just want to compliment on the crowd that we gathered today, because I feel, okay, I got to meet with this one, got to meet with that one. Great to see everyone, and thank you for joining.
Like, I just want to interject here. Frady is now a new member of the board, and we give you credit for being the only woman here. But no, you're not the only woman. One of the few women here. One of the few women
here also.
No, right. I'm here too. Frady,
we would love.
I was going to be the only one.
Well, we're happy that we would love to have more, more representation, and hopefully you'll help us get more women as well. So welcome to the board, and it's a pleasure having you here and helping us out.
Thank you.
Good morning, all. David Kogel, Divi Kogel, Sterling National Bank, Middle Market Lending. Welcome, M&T. Alex, it's time we meet. Bankers always do business with each other. I'm in the middle market space. My typical client has sales of 5 million to 200 million plus. My loans start at 5 million and go up to 70, 80, 90, 100. And we're looking for more business. We are lending now. David Kogel, Sterling National Bank.
Thank you. Okay, we have Marty Boltax, Nick Davidson, and Yitzi Pariser.
Marty Boltax. My company's Ben Fryer Endeavors. I'm a QuickBooks Pro advisor. I'm teaching or tutoring, and now I'm focusing on developmentally disabled individuals.
Thank you.
Nick.
Okay, Nick, you're on. You're
Hi,
live.
I'm live. Good morning, everybody. Nick Davidson. Nice to meet you all. Also known as Tamima, another story. The Smart Solutions Group. We are business consultants. We help folks with anything from scale to their people to any other issues that they think they may have run out of potential solutions for. We help you find the ones you haven't thought of.
Thank you. Yitzi.
Last but not least,
my name is Yitzi Pariser. I work for Heshy Friedman. I'm the sales guy around here. So if anyone needs a new website for their business, we know that mostly nowadays businesses are being shuttered and the retail is dying. And if you wanted to transition to online, we can help them with that. I'm also the backbone behind the RBBN board. I try to get them on their toes. And if anybody needs anything on the board, please let me know, and we'll try to facilitate everything.
Right, this would not be happening without Yitzi. So thank you, Yitzi, for making sure that I do my work and you do your work and everybody does their work. So thank you. Okay, we're gonna go back to.
If everyone who did not yet put their name on the sheet, please click on the links that I sent them to please add their names to the spreadsheet. That'd be really helpful.
Right, maybe if you could just add the link one more time now for all the new people as well. Okay, Swirly, we're back at you now that your camera's working again.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you, Itzi. Thank you, Heshy. It's Shirley Nyman. I'm a CPA in Muncie and office in Bergenfield, New Jersey, helping clients of all shapes and sizes. We have individuals and businesses stay in compliance with their tax returns and tax filings, and hopefully helping the clients keep more of their hard-earned money. Shirley Nyman, CPA.
Thank you. Actually, we also have Morris Reichman just joined just in time before we start the main program. Morris, go for it.
Oh, hi, Heshy. Thanks for hosting this wonderful, RBBN. So, those, nice to meet you. My name is Moshe Reichman or Morris Reichman. I launched a company called Payroll Finance last year, just over a year ago. We offer short-term loans to businesses to cover payroll.
Okay, thank you. And before we start the main program, I don't want to forget myself. Most of the time I forget myself to introduce myself here. Yitzi does the job for me, but my name is Heshy Friedman, and right now, just to tell you what we're doing now as far as websites go, a lot of law firms, nursing homes, and now doctors' offices are coming to us because the people are, especially like, I guess in the case of law firms and those types of businesses, people are no longer in their Manhattan offices like they used to be, and how people are looking for them is online on Google, and they need to go to a website and be impressed. So this has been a transformation in the last 2-3 months for us. So we're hoping to translate that into really helping businesses grow online by giving them a very powerful impression of the customers that are looking them up and customers that they have to give them the tools they need to help them grow their business. Heshy Friedman, Radial Creations. Okay, now, yeah.
I'm sorry, I forgot to say something very important. Do you mind if I just say something?
Go for it.
I mentioned that we're a CFO firm. We actually specialize in forensic bookkeeping. So if that's applicable to any of you, if you know businesses that it is applicable to, please let us know.
Sure, Chana, if you want to mention that in the comments in the
sure.
Google spreadsheet, mention that keyword in there as well, so people can remember that.
Just to help out Chana, don't assume that everyone knows what forensic accounting is. Can you give 20 seconds and explain what that is?
Okay, if I'm allowed, but from the program director, am I allowed? Do I have
Yes,
time?
we're going to have to get the program soon, but
no
10-15 seconds should be fine.
No problem. So basically, if you either haven't done your books in a while, or your books are a complete mess, or you've never touched them at all, we're the ones who go back in time and put together all the data and say, this is exactly what happened with your finances in your business.
It's building a history.
Building history. Or when you have a dispute or things like that, looking into the facts and seeing actually what happened.
All right. Thank you. If there's anybody that we didn't mention, anybody did not get a chance to introduce himself, I think I have everyone here on Zoom, but if you didn't, speak up right now before we get started with the main program. Okay. So Brett, if you can also, Brett, you're on, you're going to introduce yourself. We'll go for, I would say, about 20 minutes, or so. And then after that, we'll all go to the breakout rooms in the Purple World and meet. So we're really looking forward to this. Moshe, Tzvi, all the guys who put this, who got the program put together. Thank you very, very much. And Brett, we're really looking forward to hearing from you.
Heshy, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump in. I'd like to formally introduce Brett to the group.
Sure.
So folks, Brett was a guest on my podcast, Profit with Law. Brett started Trembly Law Firm in 2011 with one goal in mind: to change the way legal services were delivered to South Florida business owners. Fast forward to 2020, Trembly Law has grown from just Brett to a team of 23 incredible and tireless staff members, all dedicated to the firm's mission of protecting the economy one business at a time. Trembly Law serves over 250 businesses in South Florida as outside general counsel, helping employers with employment law, contract disputes, litigation, compliance, and trademarks. Trembly Law has reached Inc. 5000 eligibility and has been named into the Law Firm 500 for 4 straight years, which recognizes the fastest growing private law firms in the country. Brett authored the book, The Danger Zones, which is due out in 2020 and has been featured in both television and print news outlets in Miami, speaking about business and law. He's a regular speaker at CLE events, bar panels, and business associations in South Florida. Brett's goal is to be the owner or part owner of 3 businesses on the Inc. 5000 list by 2022. Brett also founded Get Staffed Up, a virtual staffing company, after seeing a need in his firm to find good and affordable talent for frontline positions and discovering that with today's technology, borders don't necessarily exist when it comes to staffing good talent. I personally have formed a strong relationship with Brett since that podcast interview, and I'm using the services of Get Staffed Up. recently onboarded 2 staff members onto my staff from Get Staffed Up, hence why I thought Brett would be a great asset to us this morning. Brett, good morning and welcome.
Moshe, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. Everybody can hear me, right?
Yep.
Get a thumbs up. All right. Thank you. So, Moshe, once again, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate the relationship that we have formed. So, listen, nothing worse than a boring presentation or meeting first thing in the morning. So, I'm going to do my best to keep this interactive, to keep it as interesting as possible. And in that vein, what I would like to do is start off with a few questions from everybody, but also tell you guys that feel free to ask a question during the presentation. And if I feel it's going to be, the answer will be applicable to everybody, I'll answer it. And if not, if it's, you know, too into the weeds for maybe you or your business, then we'll hold it off to the end. But just go ahead and raise your hand. So speaking of raising your hand, I'm going to start off with a few questions. If you hover your mouse along the bottom of your Zoom screen, you will see, and Mickey knows because he already did this, but you'll see it says participants, chat, share screen, record, and reactions. So what I would like to do is get you guys to click on the reactions button and do the little hand clap or the thumbs up if any of these questions apply to you. So first of all, how many of you would like your business to get more done in a shorter amount of time? All right, we got about half the hands raised. All right, so next question. How many of you would like less stress and more time to focus either on your family or on your business instead of working in your business? Love, Penny. All right, that's good. All right, let me see here. A lot of thumbs there. Last one. How many of you would like, seriously, how many of you would like to add more capacity to your business, but you consider payroll and or overhead a factor in your decision making to bring on new team members? Lots of thumbs and a few hearts. Okay, so good. I'm glad I was able to be here through all the introductions and get a feel for the room. And thank you guys for answering those questions with an emoji or a reaction. So the reason that I asked those questions, and I want to clarify, I've done several podcasts, not a ton of presentations. So this is, like I said, hopefully going to be more conversational. But there's 2 types of camps for business owners. One was like me about 8 years ago with my law firm, where it was just me. I was doing everything myself, answering my own phones, licking my own stamps, sending my own faxes. And when I could ever get around to it, doing my own legal work. And I wanted to hire people, but I was just so afraid. I didn't know how I could afford it when I didn't have money in the first place. And so there's still, of course, you know, people in that camp. And there's another camp where it's people that maybe are comfortable, but they're kind of deciding, look, I would like to take it to the next level and add more capacity to my team. But, you know, I frankly maybe don't want the headache, or I don't want the added expense, or maybe the expense isn't worth it. And so those are usually the 2 types of businesses we run into. Of course, there's a third who's saying, I'm adding people all the time, which is kind of where my law firm is now. It's just that I want to add people faster and smarter than my competition and get more done and not take on all the extra payroll. So that's what I'm going to talk about today is virtual assistants, how you can add virtual assistants to really bolster your team and your output and your business, and how it shouldn't be as scary or as daunting as you think it is. I just wish I had found out about virtual staffing a lot sooner. So short background, Moshe, thank you for that nice introduction. The law firm was started coming up on 9 years at the end of this month, and went from just me to the Inc. 5000 list and 23 employees. And 5 of those are virtual staff members that we've added recently, when we've taken the opportunity, when somebody has left, for example, like a legal secretary or receptionist, to go ahead and cut major costs, but not lose any capacity or production. So a few differentiators though, because I just want to talk about virtual assistants in general. A lot of people, and rightfully so, because I don't think there's one doctrine, but get confused or mixed up on what a virtual assistant really is. So how many of you use, for example, Fiverr or Upwork for project work? Well, you will go hire somebody online to do a project and just get something designed. I've got one thumb so far. Let me flip to the other screen. Okay, there's a few more. So, okay, we still use those services. That is just a project-based freelancer is really what it is. That's not a virtual assistant. Then there's another, basically all of the other virtual assistant companies do time Tetris. So they will basically have, if they're international, they'll have a building in the Philippines. They'll pack that building like sardines with just a bunch of people. And then they'll say, okay, I need to sell 5 hours of this employee I have in 20 hours. And they're just piecemealing their people together. And the same thing when you have a domestic virtual assistant company. Normally you say, well, I kind of only want to spend this, and I kind of only need, 10 hours per week. In my experience, when you actually take the time to sit down and write through everything that you do in a week, just take 1 week and just write it all out as if you're a lawyer and you're tracking your time or you're billing your time. Went and got breakfast in the morning, did emails, answered some phone calls, tried to do a project, got interrupted, got 10 more emails, just lay it all out there. And if you take a highlighter and highlight, first of all the time you spend on your email or on your calendar, and then take a different color highlighter and highlight all of the different things that you just frankly don't like doing, or that get in the way of doing the things you should be doing, you'll have enough work for a full-time executive assistant. My argument is that if you don't have an assistant, you are an assistant. And I don't really think you can rebut that premise or argue with it, because let's face it, we all let little things get in the way of doing the big things that we know we should be doing. Or it's the 80-20 rule or the Pareto principle. 20% of the things we do produce 80% of our income. So why don't we focus more time on that? Most people start with trying to get all of the little things out of the way. And I know, because I have these conversations with people all the time, but also this was me, and sometimes unfortunately still is. You try to cram in all the email and all the little things in the morning, and then get to your big projects, and it really never works out that way. So our company does full-time virtual staffing only. Now, I'm not going to talk about only our company. I'm going to give you general tips for using virtual assistants. This is not like, hey, listen and hear all about our company. I'm just giving you some differentiators and what we think really works for people. The other, when I talked about the time Tetris, when you have an assistant that's working 10 hours for you, 10 hours for somebody across the country, and 20 hours from someone else, are they really focused on you and your time and what you need? Or are you just emailing them a bunch of projects that, they get around to when they can? So our argument is that with our full-time virtual employees, because they're our employees that get staffed up, we then lease them back out to you essentially. So you pay us a monthly flat fee, and you don't pay any overhead. You don't pay any taxes. You don't have any penalties. You don't have to worry about, figuring out all the different compliance in the countries and their bonuses and their HR structures. We do all of that for you. We're a contractor. So because of the considerable price savings with not hiring someone domestically, but hiring someone in another country and using economic arbitrage, full-time is a no-brainer. The other thing that I would encourage you to do is think about the task you need. If you need data entry and some light help in some certain things, then maybe the Philippines and those areas are okay. But more and more, what we're doing is not looking at virtual assistants like, I kind of need them on a few things, but as full-time team members, people that you include in your morning huddles, in your weekly meetings, on your Zoom meetings, where you treat them like full-time employees. And what we have quickly done is moved from having people out of the Philippines to we are full-time Latin America. So our people all come from Mexico, Central and South America because of the time zone and the cultural differences. In Latin America, they have a lot of the same social values that we do and interactions. And we just find that to be a lot better when they're on the phone and doing your email and some other tasks in your business. So at Get Staffed Up, our marketing does focus on law firms, but we have lots and lots of non-law firm clients. Some of the marketing people here will probably agree, niches bring riches. And when you're marketing just towards one segment of the population, it's a lot easier to tailor your message. So me and my co-founder are attorneys here in Miami. And I say here in Miami, I know we have a few people from Miami, and it's funny. I guarantee you, Elliot, you know, we probably know some of the same people. Miami is the smallest big city in the world, as I like to say. So, we do focus our marketing on law firms, but service-based businesses are basically the same, and we have non-service-based businesses clients. So, all that being said, let me just go over some of the positions that our clients hire, what we call a staffer or a virtual assistant through our company. Administrative assistants, executive assistants, personal assistants, of course, legal assistants, intake coordinators, receptionists, and happiness coordinators or client liaisons. And on the marketing side, a social media coordinator, video coordinators. I know we have a video production company here. The quality is not going to be the same, but if you're doing a lot of cell phone, like high volume type, activities, then having your own full-time video coordinator can be very helpful to work with your video production team. LinkedIn managers and LinkedIn and Facebook group managers. That's on the marketing side. So all that being said, kind of a background, what I want to do is give some tips. And I think I have 4 or 5 tips here, and then I'll get into some of the cost savings and why it's a no-brainer in our estimation. So one, I mentioned this earlier, but make virtual assistants a part of your team. One of the mistakes we see a lot is people get a virtual assistant and they keep them in the background, and there's no email address given to that virtual assistant. They're not on the weekly team meetings. Hopefully you have them. A lot of companies now are doing, team huddles in the morning. You need to, or you should, to maximize this person's ability, create the infrastructure in your office to include them via Zoom in everything you do. That's how you're going to get a better employee with more buy-in and more loyalty. 2, don't think of virtual assistants as just traditional positions, because you can add capacity to your teams in a lot of different ways. For example, at my law firm, we just added 2 billing clerks because we found we had a log jam in our billing and invoicing system, and that added 5% efficiency. So what costs less than $4,000 a month to add 2 full-time people brought back to our firm more than $15,000 per month, just because we increased in efficiency there. So obviously, it doesn't cost anything. Good employees will make you money, not vice versa. Another example of adding capacity would be, we have a CPA client who added a marketing virtual assistant and then 2 admin VAs to work under the marketing VA. And they just supercharged their marketing. I mean, now you talk about at least 5 blogs per week, 100 pieces of social media content, 5 videos, plus they have their Facebook and their LinkedIn groups managed. So this is recent, but their amount of leads in 3 months has gone up almost 30%, just by adding so much capacity to the team for basically what it would cost you to add a full-time marketing coordinator here domestically. Another example, we have a swimming pool company who has 2 virtual assistants through us that do all their phones, all their intake, all their outbound, etc. Their phones are handled exclusively through us. And when you start comparing a full-time receptionist, of course, to someone domestic, it's really not even close. But let's say you can find somebody to work for $10 an hour, unless it's maybe somebody who's retired and just really bored, you're going to have a lot of turnover at that position. Anybody experience a lot of turnover at their sort of entry-level admin positions? Well, those are the things that we're staffing. We're not staffing, executives and managers and lawyers. We're staffing your administrative positions where the hidden cost of hiring in the US is like $4,900 in terms of the time and the resources that it takes you every time somebody at any position leaves, which is incredibly costly. It's just not money out of your pocket, so you don't necessarily see that or feel it as much, although you feel the time. So we are trying to stabilize your turnover at your administrative entry-level positions. Another tip is to add personal assistants for your executive level teams. So let's say that you have, I mean, I could always use the attorney examples because we built time, but it could be anyone on your management team. But if you hired an executive assistant through us, and just in case you're wondering, that's an $1,850 a month flat fee is what our executive assistants cost. If you save 5.5 hours a week, that virtual assistant is already paid for, but that's just per week. So it's more likely that you're going to save 6 to 8 hours per week, and you're going to do that 4 times in a month. So you're going to basically make a 4 times return just by getting somebody to manage the things that I talked about earlier. I'm sure we've all seen the research. It takes 20 to 25 minutes to get back on track when you get distracted. And, you know, anyone else deal with the email monster where they're just getting messages and focusing on it all day? Hopefully not. You know, one strategy is to only check your email 2 or 3 times per day and then get off of it and turn it off. But what I do and what we do now for my team is everybody has a virtual executive assistant who manages our calendar and our email, and the amount of time that it saves and a bunch of other things, but it's just astronomical. So, and the fourth tip that I want to give is don't think of virtual assistants as an anomaly or something that maybe you want to just add to a team that you don't need. Think of them as sprinkling in with your domestic team members. So I mean, unless you're a purely virtual company, and certainly a lot of clients now after COVID are moving that way, or I should say a lot of companies, but you know, for the rest of us that are going to have our domestic employees, it's nice to layer the offshore with the onshore and create that nice dynamic. When you first introduce this concept to your team, a lot of people are going to get scared and they think they're going to get replaced. The idea is not necessarily to replace somebody, although if they're underperforming or overpaid, then certainly you can, but it's to start a different hiring strategy where your competitor, every time they want to add somebody that would give them the capacity to bring on 20, 30, 40 more clients, is spending, let's say a $60,000 person, that's really going to cost you 1.3 times that. Right, that's going to cost you really $80,000 to $85,000, because when you hire someone in the U.S., all of the different things that you have to provide for that person, the data says it's about 1.3 and sometimes 1.4 times what their actual salary is. So you can smartly outperform your competitors with better response times, better customer service, and more done and faster, which then creates, you know, energy and excitement around the company, which again feeds back into your own team, but it helps your marketing and it helps your performance and it helps your testimonials, on and on. So do we have a question? Okay, not so far. So those are the 4 tips that I kind of wanted to leave you guys with. And just to talk about the cost savings, we did this calculation because one of our clients.
Can you hear me? I have a question.
Oh, go ahead, please.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Now that we're all used to this Zoom thing, is it pretty much just like having an employee somewhere else, or that's too much? There is a difference between overseas, not a foreign company, and just having somebody work out of their house.
I can't see who asked that question though. I'm looking at the.
David Jassy.
Okay, so David, it's nearly identical. There's one small difference. If you have domestic employees that are working remotely but they're in the same city, you can still get together, for example, and have team events that you'll have to leave your virtual assistants out of. For example, we hadn't really seen each other. My law firm has been remote since March 16th, and Moshe says I'm a non-law firm client, but we had somebody start on March 16th. So nobody had seen that person. So we finally had a team event, and we got together at one of our brewery clients and had a good time. So yeah, our virtual team couldn't join that. I mean, we could have, brought in Wi-Fi and had a Zoom sort of TV there if we wanted to. We just didn't feel like that was necessary. But we've done things. We've done, team events over Zoom with like bingo. We've done poker nights. We've done just bring wine and chit chat, and everyone bring a fun fact about themselves that nobody's ever heard before. So because of COVID, our business grew almost 50% over 7 months, because the conversation we used to have was, well, can I deal with people virtually? And then COVID forced us all to work virtually, and we all saw it wasn't that hard. So other than that small difference, it's almost identical. And that's why, again, why we moved about 1.5 years ago to having people in the same time zone. Because when you have somebody, in the Philippines, for example, if they do work for us, because we still do have a few, we make them work during US hours. So they're basically working the graveyard shift. But a lot of people will email a virtual assistant, and then there's a 12-hour lag every time. So if they're working during your working hours and they're on Zoom, it doesn't matter where they are. It's nearly, it's the same thing. And I want to point out that one of the, look, I wish I had discovered this earlier. This is a new phenomenon to me. We started this company early 2018. And the idea is, well, I don't want someone who answers the phone that sounds like, they're in the Far East. That's a problem when you're hiring out of India or when you're hiring, out of the Philippines. We don't recommend anyone from those countries to do your phones. But when it's someone out of Latin America, the English is so phenomenal there sometimes that, there's going to be a very slight accent, but very few people have clientele in the US that are gonna react to that, frankly. And most of the time, or a lot of the times, you can't even tell. There are brilliantly talented people that are born all over the world. So why not take advantage of that global talent and, frankly, save a lot of money at the same time?
Brett, can I add something? I so much relate to what you say, because we've been doing the same model of virtual assistants who are Americans living in Israel. And before 2018, before COVID, it would be so hard to even consider such a thing. And since COVID started, I mean, also we've went so high on business and the concept of the idea of having a good team worker who could really give you the value of an American just working from another country, but their stability, they're reliable, they work from home, so they're available much more, is definitely a tremendous asset.
Yeah, working for all of our people work from home. That's our sales pitch. We had 5,000 people in Latin America apply to work for our company last quarter alone, because everybody wants to work from home. So now we have less commute time. People work a little bit longer, they work a little bit harder, and frankly, we've had a lot less time off and issues. So that's interesting. I don't know what the cost of living though is in Israel. There's probably not much of a price difference though, right?
So Israel is probably 30% cheaper than America. It's much more expensive than the Philippines, but the value you get is that you're getting American. So they kind of get the American culture, the American standards of work. They communicate well with with your calendar, with your clients. So if you're looking, to get a good service but lower prices, probably the Philippines would be better. But if you're looking for the American service, so that could be an interesting solution.
Right. I want to add that I actually work with Yehuda. We have some of his team members that do work with us, and it's that concept is they understand the American mindset and business mind a lot better than if you're going out to the Far East or something like that.
Brett, how do you vet people, and what do you do about quality control of the people you're bringing on board?
So we have, when I said we had 5,000 people apply for us, we placed 55. So that's about a 1% chance that you're going to make it through our process. Our process, Jonathan, is really in depth. We've got quizzes, we've got tests. We make them send in videos. We double check their writing. Look, Some people are a lot of them are rock stars, and some people end up being, you know, okay. But quality control is, for us, is not an issue. We don't differentiate ourselves on pricing. As we were just talking about with Yehuda, we differentiate on time zone and performance and quality. Now, as we monitor, like after they start with one of our clients, they have to install Time Doctor on their computer and make sure that they're working and that they're logging in and that, you know, they're doing everything you're asking them to. But that being said, quality control falls mostly on the actual client, because what we don't do is train. So we're recruiting, we're vetting, and we do background checks, and we're finding very talented people. But because every business in this country is different, there's no way we could ever train them to work for you. So our best clients are not like solos. They are clients who have a program in place for onboarding and training. And we do recommend to all of our clients that they use scorecards. Scorecards are one of the least utilized but easiest tools. Here are the 10 to 15 things that you're in charge of every week. You have to get these done, bare minimum. So if you get these done, I at least know that I'm getting my money's worth and you're being very productive. And then I can figure out what your capacity is and how much more I can give you. So we have, every one of our clients has an appointed happiness coordinator that checks in and asks, you know, for feedback and make sure that the virtual assistant is performing well. And that's the extent of our quality control is we work with our clients to make sure that they're getting what they've signed up for.
Brett, my name is Shiameski. So first of all, around the language, I mean, that you answered the question, but it was like when there is a language barrier, it's almost like working with a slow computer. It's, you know, it's not worth it, the headache. Now, what I know you mentioned a little bit about it. You know, what are tips to incorporate them that it feels like they're in the office? Because obviously there is a benefit to having people in the office. So how do we, so you said like including them on phone calls. So I know like some people have a big screen in the office, which looks like it is a desk, you know, and the guy is almost sitting in the office. So do you suggest that, or what are ways that you would say that it could, you know, feel like they're more there?
I totally agree with you on the language barrier. It's very frustrating to have to repeat yourself and then you feel like you're not being efficient. And then that's to me, that's a no-go. So what we suggest is, I remember the first time my business partner, he hired 5 people and like when the business started in late 2017, and I walked into his office and he had his TV mounted on his wall, and he had 5 separate, just like Zoom looks now, and he had them all up on his TV doing his morning meetings, and he was just standing talking to each one of them, and they could all see each other as well. Well, now Zoom makes it easy for us, so you got to get them on Zoom with the rest of the team members and interacting, whether it's, you know, a few minutes per day or at least several times per week. And really, it's just a FaceTime, you know, other than, you know, being cognizant of the fact that you have to include them. I don't have any other tips, because it's just you still want them to get work done, not spend all their time socializing with the other people in the firms. You have to include them in business type meetings. And also, but whoever's our supervisor needs to delegate and then check up. Delegate, feedback, check in. Delegate, feedback, check in. That's very important when you're working with somebody remotely, regardless of where they are. That's another good question. What else do we got?
Yeah. Hey, Brett.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, this is Mark. So yeah, I mean, you definitely touched on, you know, some pointers that I was wondering about, but you know, in terms of like collaboration with someone who's remote and obviously in a different time zone, if you're suggesting that we incorporate them into, you know, our day-to-day meetings and work, the fact that they're in a different time zone, how is that actually working out, you know, for your clients when there needs to be collaboration, not necessarily when you're assigning them a particular task and you wake up in the morning and it's done?
So Mark, if you're gonna, like, for the way we work, if you are gonna work for Get Staffed Up, and then we're gonna place you with one of our clients, you have to agree to work during their working hours. So if you're on Central Time or Mountain Standard because you're in Mexico or Central America, then if Mark, if your business day starts at 9, theirs starts at 7. So for us, that's just a requirement of the position. There's no negotiation there. And the few people that we have left in the Philippines, they also work our hours. So they're working the graveyard shift for them. Yeah. So look, Moshe asked me to finish, and again, you guys are asking great questions, so I think everybody gets it. I'm not gonna just stick to my talking points because I have them. What Moshe wanted me to do is finish with an offer. So here's the way it works. You sign up. We have what we call it's a sales call, but we call it a decision making call, right? Nothing worse than talking to someone 5 times before they make a decision. We have $1,850 a month is the middle range. Those are the admin assistants, and that's usually what people sign up for. And then we have the $2,050 a month for a marketing assistant. And I do want to hammer this home. These are assistants. These are not people you get to turn over all of your marketing to. They're not coordinators. They're not directors. They don't know your business. They're not going to come up with brilliant campaigns. They're going to take orders and then hopefully, get really good at doing exactly what you need them to do, filling tasks. So, but we do have a startup fee. The startup fee is $1,750. That's a one-time fee, and that comes with our replacement guarantee. So if you're working with us, doesn't matter if it's a month later or 5 years later, and one of our staffers or virtual assistants leaves or goes on maternity leave or quits or moves, life is life, things happen. We replace that person for you. We put you at the front of the line, and we do it for free. There's no additional startup cost. So the one-time startup fee when you start is $1,750. For anyone through this group, we'll take $500 off that, so it's $1,250. And that's not a moneymaker for us. It's just that without you actually signing and putting your money down, you have no stake in the game. And so that's why we require that startup fee. So I just wanted to finish with that offer because Moshe asked me to make one and to give you guys a discount if anyone's interested. And there you have it. I'm happy to answer more questions or Heshy, turn it back over to you.
Okay, so we're out of time here, but I think if you can provide your contact info in the chat here, we'll also send out a recap in the email. If you'll give me some information to send out with the offer as well, to send out to the RBBN email, and we'll put it in the WhatsApp. That way everybody can follow up with you and they can see the offer as well. I guess as well, anybody with any additional questions, if you want to put your email as well in the chat, and we can add it, whatever other contact information you want to add to the
I'll say this real quick. If you go to getstaffedup.com/VIP, it's the fastest way. Somebody will respond to you during working hours, usually within 5 to 20 minutes. All you do is put your name, your email, and how you heard of us. If you drop in there, you can put Moshe's name, you can put RBBN, whatever. That's what will let us know you came through this, and it will trigger the discount.
Got it. Okay. So great. On that note, we're gonna whoever has the time now to join us on the Purple World. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Heshy. I have a call that's starting in 2 minutes.
Okay, so whoever, obviously, people are tough on time, but the next level of this program is going to be virtual interactive networking, where you can just walk around and meet people, schmooze with them, and do one-on-ones. So whoever's here that can join us on the Purple World, again, we sent the link out earlier in all the emails. Please join us in the Purple World. You can log in through the link that we provided. And then we can all just hang out there for however long you want to hang and chat and meet people and do networking together. So I'm going to leave the Zoom open over here. I'm going to just, for anybody who has any questions, who's has trouble getting into the system. But everybody now is welcome to go to that purple world. It takes a while to install. It's 1.5 gigs, so hopefully you did it before in the beginning of the meeting. But if you didn't, it's still not too late. Just go in there, and we'll also whoever's going to be available to do that, we'll see you there in a few, and then you can just walk around and meet up with different people. And okay, so I'm going there now, and we'll see everybody there. But I'll stay here on Zoom for anyone with any questions, or if anybody else wants to chat on Zoom, you're more than welcome to do so. I'm gonna leave it open now. I'm just gonna stop the recording and officially end that part of the program.
They're signing up. We have 8 people on already.